everyone, Joshua Hanlon here at San Diego Comic-Con 2019, and I'm joined by Rob May, and he's going to tell us all about the exciting new LEGO Masters show coming to the U.S. later this year. So if you want to start off with kind of a brief overview of what you do at LEGO, and then we'll dive into the LEGO Masters show.
Sure. So I'm an executive producer over at LEGO, sitting on a handful of different series. I take Ninjago, LEGO Masters, a few other shows, and LEGO Masters has been the last, 3-4 years of my life. Where it's a brick building competition series that we developed initially in the UK, but it has toured all over the world now with big shows in Germany and more recently in Australia. And the news we've got as of this week is that it's finally coming to the US. So we're super thrilled to be at Comic-Con this year and be talking about it with folks. The show is going to come to Fox, and we just know that it'll be on in 2020.
So now we're going to take a look at the trailer for LEGO Masters. Give us an idea of what we're about to see here.
Sure. It's epic. Basically, the tone and kind of feel of the show to give people a little taste of the type of building, because I have no idea what people's perception of what a LEGO building competition would look like, right? But actually what you'll see is some of the material from the Australian series that just wrapped, right? But it captures, I think, the scale and size of the show. It's epic. It's ridiculously epic. So yeah, let's take a look.
I did say you were playing for something big.
I'm looking for you to tell a story with Lego bricks. Holy crud nuggets.
I beg your pardon?
13 seconds to go.
We're gonna blow stuff up.
So there's very little right now, but there's a lot more coming, and I know the production group behind the show is in the process right now to just start looking into casting and auditions, basically, right, for brick building teams. The show looks for teams of 2, so builders that work with a partner, basically, right, and there aren't any restrictions in terms of that relationship, right? If you have a best friend that you build with, or a parent or a grandparent or whatever that, that kind of relationship is, they welcome all kinds of builders, and it's going to be really exciting. The show has been just a wild ride over the last 3 years, watching this thing evolve as it's gone to different parts of the world.
Yeah, I've seen some great clips from the show in the different places like the UK and Australia and everything where you've already had them, but for the American audience that maybe isn't familiar with it and hasn't followed it as closely, talk a little bit more about kind of the nuts and bolts of the show and what it generally looks like as the teams build against each other.
Sure. So the traditional format of the show has been groups of teams of 2 that will pair off and build events that, shape over those episodes. And some of those build events could be, a day's worth of building. Some of them could be several days worth of building. And teams are, can be eliminated throughout the course of the show. Again, that's the format that we've seen in other places. So in terms of what the U.S. does and how closely it follows to that is still wildly up in the air. But that's what we've seen LEGO Masters out doing so far, right? So as a competition series, it is really that collaboration between 2 builders and uniquely how they share that creative vision that they're partnered with in their build, right? So it's exciting. It's a really, really cool build experience to watch folks over time do amazing stuff like that.
Yeah, especially the dynamic you mentioned earlier about the age differences and that sort of thing, because I know some teams have had a younger kid and an older adult and stuff together, and so you get very different dynamics there.
Yeah, no, for sure. You get every, based on the dynamic of your relationship with the person you're building with, that communication between parties, right? If you built with friends or you've built with a family member, it's a very different relationship, and it's certainly meant for some, high drama in the show and other areas, right? So it's interesting. The dynamic of building is very much like a core part of the program itself, right? But the scope and scale of builds we've seen that we've put out have really, I feel like, changed people's perception that outside of this community, right? That outside of understanding what free building is, or what how that kind of artistry besides large scale builds, what that looks like. So it's going to be exciting to see that introduced to a huge mainstream audience.
Now, if someone wants to audition for the show and have the chance to be on LEGO Masters, where would you send them to, and where's all the information they can find?
Yeah, so LegoMasters.tv, and that should have everything from all the information and specifications you need to do, to timing and what the next steps will be really for teams to show up in your city, right, for you to actually audition. So. And I mean, even beyond that, really, for just general timing and more info and details about the actual competition will all live on that site. So keep checking back.
Perfect. Well, that's really good to know. So we'll put a link to LegoMasters.tv in the description of this video. You can click through there, check out the website, and get all the information. But thank you so much, Rob. This sounds super exciting. I've loved the LEGO Masters clips I've seen already, so I'm sure the US one will be even more exciting than the previous shows.
Awesome. Thanks, man.